I turned down the mic volume a little bit because I think I'm being too loud. So, today is Friday, November 7th, and I knew going into today that I probably shouldn't take a trade or I wouldn't have a setup because this week was kind of expansive for most pairs. And I think a new problem of mine is that I have too many pairs to trade. I really like NASDAQ, I really like oil, and I really like gold. Oil is actually almost my favorite, and I find that during certain weeks my performance with oil is like unparalleled to like NASDAQ or gold. I mean, ever since NASDAQ hit all-time highs, it's been a bit tricky. That being said, I also know that Fridays for oil are not good. So what did I do? I took a loss on oil. Sorry, I already made this video and I wasn't really happy with the first one, so I'm just trying to keep this one quicker and more direct. But gasoline, super bullish throughout the week. Excuse the alerts, my trading view's been fucking bugging lately. But super bullish throughout the week, and I was watching. I primarily want shorts, especially on Friday, for the weekly candle close. I wasn't gonna force it though. I was just gonna prefer to see if we could reach premium, hourly POY, hit some longs, because if we go over to oil, sorry, that's messy. Yeah, oil has been super weak the entire week, and I knew that if I wanted to long that gasoline would have been the better choice. That being said, oil did not take previous day high and went and shit, my mouse is bugging too. Went and tapped almost 50% of this daily fair value gap, filled that new daily opening gap. Actually, I guess it'd be previous week's new weekly opening gap. And my main draw, if you go on the 15-minute, it looks better on the other contract, but we had equal lows with Asia session, and you can see that London didn't do too much. Rejected midnight, respected this 15 and cleared these lows before New York open and 10 o'clock. So we go on the 5-minute, back to 15. Yeah, respected this 15 gap. So yeah, around 9:30, I would have almost considered this my Judas, and I was looking for longs back to midnight. So my bread and butter setup is the hour to 5-minute time frame. That's my highest win rate. It's almost what I should only trade. That being said, what did I not do? I respect that, and I traded the 1-minute, which I still have success with the 1-minute, but my win rate takes a hit with it because it's just not nearly as probable. So if I wanted to take my bread and butter setup, this would have been my unicorn. We had SMT at the lows here. I think it was with Asia. It was one of them. I had it marked off. Besides the point that I went down to the 1-minute, and a rule with me is that when I'm looking for my breaker or unicorn entry, is that I want displacement to be quick. I want it to be clean. I want it to look decisive, as if it's showing me its hands, right? So already right off the bat, I mean, you look at this. Sorry, garbage truck. You look at the sad unicorn, and dude had a hard time getting out of there, right? And so around here, I started to see some strength that I liked, but it was really close to the 10 o'clock candle open. So I went to the 5 minute, and we actually closed above this fair value gap, making an inversion. Back down to the 1 minute, though, I entered after it closed below the inversion. So it shouldn't have been a valid setup. It was still my rules, and it was still a 1 minute unicorn. I just knew that if it wasn't clear, it's on a Friday, and after this week, I probably should have just stayed out. But yeah, I was fairly confident in it. Like everything, all of my confluences were there, and yeah. So shitty loss. I wasn't like beating myself up over it. That's a good thing I've developed is, a couple of years ago, I was always just like a loss or a win defined my mood for the day. If I took a loss, I was like, oh, I'm having a fucking shit day, I'd be upset and everything. Right now, it's just every little loss is a learning experience. And yeah, so shitty no volume trade, painful fucking death on there. But what did I do afterwards? Afterwards, I went and revenge traded, which I don't do. I should say I normally don't do. Yeah, it's been so long since I revenge traded. I usually, if you know me online, you know that I usually only take one trade a day, 2 trades a week. I've been playing my Apex accounts more aggressive, but I've been very mindful of it. That being said, I did go on tilt and blow an account Tuesday. So, this isn't like me, and I'm trying. Take it back a bit. Before, I put funded accounts on a pedestal. I thought that if I just had the funded account, that was it. You know what I mean? I would just risk little. I wouldn't trade it much. I would get payouts, whatever, right? But I was too passive. Months would go by and my P&L would just not change. I'd stay break even, right? And I was scared to lose the accounts because, as I talked about last video, I put my self-worth behind, artificial things, right? Just because I have a funded account or not doesn't really define my skill or experience as a trader. So I've been doing this for 3 years, and I'm usually really good with risk management. I don't over leverage, and like I said, I usually keep wins to a minimum, right? 2 wins a week, I'm fucking out of there. Even if it's 1 win, I used to just fucking be like, all right, see you guys next week. So yeah, I've been trading the Apex accounts more aggressive. More so just because they're kind of a sketchy firm, and I just want to get to the buffer. I would have a fear that my payout would get denied because I've had these accounts for fucking ages. I have 5 Apex accounts. Yeah, so my loss was 1,900 across 5 accounts. So that's pretty brutal. That means I'm down 1 R at the end of the week. So that's not too bad. Or a little bit over. And yeah, so after I took that loss, I should have just packed my shit and went and hit the gym, right? But no, what did I do? I came over to NASDAQ, which had taken my draw. I was looking at shorts, and there's nothing I really liked, right? So I'm still being mindful of the trades I like and don't like. And yeah, so it took my draw, and I was looking at the weekly candle. I was looking at the daily candle. Even the monthly candle completely rebalanced the gap that it was making. And so it being Friday, it's like, oh, longs are probably an easy play, right? We're going to reverse, sweep this low, close the weekly out with a wick. So after we took our low, what did I do? Came over to the 1 minute, yeah, the 1 minute, and took this pitiful breaker. Look at that. So I was aware of what I was doing. I was fully aware. I was totally in control, and I still stayed with it. I don't even know why. It's kind of scary when you think about it, right? It's just like, how can you go from being like this disciplined trader that has an edge? You have pride in it, right? And here you are fully aware of what you're doing in the moment, right? I could have closed it for a small loss. I could have just got out being like, no, Corbin, like, what are you doing? You don't do this, right? No, I stayed in it. I moved my stop loss so the loss wouldn't be too big, and yeah. And afterwards, I was just like, oh my god, like, this is not like me. I, like I say, I used to be proud of my risk management. Fuck, it was like one of my best traits. Sometimes I would miss trades, but I was like, well, I'm not chasing anything. You know, I'm keeping these accounts. Some people blow accounts in fucking no time at all, and they don't know how to risk. They don't know whatever. So I'm trying to, yeah, ever since being out of the deficit, it's a 6 month deficit, man, just shot my hormones, shot my test, just had no motivation. Like, I was enjoying life, and being lean was fun, but ever since I started eating food again, and I've been having some really good trades, um, I'm trying to balance my refound want to succeed with my discipline. So before, when I was being passive with my accounts, I didn't want it that bad because other areas of my life were good. So I didn't take my performance seriously. I didn't take journaling seriously. I didn't take trading very seriously at all. You know, and now, yeah, I want this shit, and I know I'm capable of it. So I just feel like I'm constantly trying to prove to myself, and I'm still kind of validating wins as like proof that you're a good trader, when really it's being able to take a loss on your chin and walk away, you know. Funny enough, that's almost more important than winning, right? The wins will come naturally if you have a good system. If you're not stupid, you know what to look for. You got to draw. Whatever the case, right? So, and I was having a chat with my friend Alex last night about how your daily habits and your prayers coincide with manifesting your success into the physical realm. That's a lot of words, but what I meant by that was that showing up every single day and following your rules the same way you would as if you were making that money is how you actually manifest your success. So, you gotta think in the future. Obviously, traders are human. You're still gonna go on tilt maybe one day of the year, 2 days, blow an account, do some stupid shit, break your rules, whatever. We're all human, and you bounce back from it. But you gotta think of your future self. Would you still be revenge trading? Would you still be breaking your rules? No. So really, it's a form of disrespect, and in order to bring about that person that you ultimately want to be at the end, when you have reached your goal, for me, of being profitable, you gotta respect yourself. You gotta follow your rules, and so really gotta be in control of all aspects of your life. An example I used was brushing your teeth before going to bed. If you're not brushing your teeth before you're going to bed because you're so lazy and you're beating yourself up over it in your bed and you still go to bed, you're waking up the next morning and you're already in the mindset of slack. Like, you're already you've already broken a rule or your system, right? And brushing your teeth is minuscule. I'm not saying, oh, if you don't brush your teeth, you can't be profitable. You can look at something bigger like the gym. If you are a trader and you're big into the gym, and one week you start slacking, you're not going, you're not putting as much effort in, it's going to leak into other areas of your life. I'm sure everyone's seen it, and I mean, it's all balance. It goes with everything, right? So, if your relationships, if you're so locked in and you're not paying attention to your loved ones, they're going to reciprocate that energy, and then you're going to have a shit trading week, and then your relationships are at a bad spot, and it just, everything goes hand in hand. So really, you gotta be up with the shits on everything. And the cat litter, I'm admittedly pretty bad at cleaning the cat litter. Not like that bad. I'm not making my cats shit on the floor or something. But if I can conquer the cat litter and change that every single day, I'm in a mindset of like, wow, I actually have been keeping up with the cat litter for once. And I'm still going to the gym daily. I'm still taking care of my body. And I'm going to be more prone to actually following my rules. So, that being said, it gets stressful when I got university and I'll try to balance all this shit. But, yeah, this isn't like me. I'm going to do my best to get out of this little kind of drought I found myself in. Because, like I said, I'm still taking good trades. My analysis has still been good. But I'm just not aware enough of what I need to not be doing. God, the last time I revenge traded was like 2 years ago. Over 2 years ago. I remember I'd built up my crypto portfolio to like 3K, give or take, and one day touched leverage with Solana, and in a matter of like 2 hours I'd blown the entire thing, and I was beating myself up bad over it, man. I was so upset. I just wanted to fucking break everything. I remember that day so perfectly. And now it's just, I'm still on the right path. It's just a little bump. Everything happening has a deeper purpose and lesson behind it. Like these little bumps are just a reminder of you will be humbled, whether it's the universe, God, the markets, or yourself. As good as you think you can be, as good as you think you are, there will always be times where you will make mistakes. And if you don't reflect upon those mistakes and try to, juice out all of the good lessons in there, you're not going to benefit from it, right? So I'm going to take this weekend to enjoy myself, enjoy my time with friends, and come back next week refreshed and in the right mind space. Yeah. So, don't be like me. Don't revenge trade. Just sit out if you know you should sit out. It's pretty simple shit, man. Just don't chase trades and you'll be better off. There'll always be another trade in the market. Market's not going anywhere. I just play this shit for the long run. The more you play it for the long run, the more you prioritize your good habits, showing up, holding yourself accountable, following your rules. That's when it'll actually come quicker than trying to force shit like I have been doing the last couple weeks. Trying to force good performance. It just doesn't get me anywhere. But at least now I'm doing something about it. That's all for now. Goodbye.